footy fans, welcome to another episode of Bev's Footy Tips. It's great to have your company. This is for round 4 of the 2022 AFL season. We're 1 month in to the season, and you probably have to say the top 3 teams in the competition right now are Brisbane, Melbourne and Carlton, who all sit at the top of the ladder, undefeated with 3 wins and 0 losses. You look at the bottom 3 teams, Port Adelaide, West Coast and Essendon, they are all yet to register a win in season 2022, and it's probably time they start cracking onto it and getting their first win on the board if they want to stay in touch. But anyway, plenty to get through, so let's get straight into the video. Let's begin by taking a look at who won round 3 of the Bev Show tipping competition. Now, believe it or not, we've got 4 winners this week. Yes, 4 winners. They all tipped 8 out of the 9 matches correct, and they're all 1 point off the margin. So it's a big congratulations to Diesel's Dirty Dogs, Winner FC 1871, Gammy 1025, and Suvlaki Party. Whoa, you beauty to all 4 of you tipsters, you Ripper Dipper champions. Let's take a look at the leaderboard now after round 3. We've got 4 teams all on 21 total tips, and leading is Kai P. Now, I don't know how to pronounce his team name, so Kai, if you're watching, please get in touch with me. I'd love to learn how to pronounce your team name. Car in the Baggers 11 is in 2nd spot, Talking AFL in 3rd spot, and then Cade Fagan in 4th spot, and then in 5th spot, Field D25 is on 5th with 20 total tips. Let's now take a quick look at how many tips I got correct in round 3. I tipped my beloved Doggies to beat the Swans by 5 points. Whoa, you beauty! Go the Doggies! What a win that was last Thursday night. I tipped the D's to defeat Essendon. I tipped Port Adelaide to defeat the Crows. What a game that was. What about that kick after the siren by Jordan Dawson? How about the swing on that footy? I tipped the Giants to defeat the Suns. Pretty easy tip right in the end. The Suns were quite disappointing. I tipped Geelong to defeat Collingwood. Could probably count my lucky stars with that one, because I thought I was going to get that tip wrong at 3/4 time, but then all of a sudden 9 goals in the last quarter, a 50-point turnaround by Geelong to win the game. Outstanding there. I tipped Brisbane to defeat North Melbourne. I tipped Carlton to defeat Hawthorn. One of the best games of the round, that one was. It was a ripper. I tipped Richmond to defeat St Kilda. Richmond led by 20-odd points halfway through the 3rd quarter. But St Kilda, the way they came home and basically smashed the Tigers in the end was quite impressive. And in the final game of the round, I tipped Fremantle to defeat the Eagles. So, pretty happy with my performance in round 3. 7 out of the 9 matches correct. I moved to 17 total tips. So, not a bad round from myself. Let's hope I can continue the good form in round 4. Round 4 begins on Thursday night at the Adelaide Oval, 7:40pm start time. It is Port Adelaide taking on Melbourne. Port Adelaide 0-3 taking on Melbourne, who are 3-0. I'm not sure how anyone could tip Melbourne, to be fair. Even Port Adelaide supporters, I mean, how they're going to beat Melbourne on Thursday night, I really don't know. It would be a remarkable win if they were to do so, but I can't see that happening, so I'm tipping Melbourne. And I'm going to tip them by... I'm going to go with a bigger margin here. I'm going to go 25 points. I think they'll just be too strong for Port Adelaide, who are struggling at the minute. No doubt about it. Friday night, this is probably the game of the round. Geelong taking on Brisbane at GMHBA Stadium, 7:50pm start time. Geelong, they sit with 2 wins and 1 loss. Of course, like I said before, they nearly lost to Collingwood there on Saturday night, but their comeback in the last quarter was quite remarkable. Was that off the adrenaline of Joel Selwood and his milestone of most games played as a captain? I don't know, but they're going to be taking on a pretty strong Brisbane Lions outfit who is undefeated, 3 wins, 0 losses. They're looking like one of the top teams in the competition at the moment, no doubt about it. And the Lions nearly beat Geelong at GMHBA last season. In fact, arguably, they probably should have. There was that controversial free kick towards the end of the game. But it was a 1-point loss in the end. I'm surprised only 42% have tipped Brisbane. I know it's at GMHBA, and I know the Cats have a good record at that ground. But I just think Brisbane is the better team out of the two. And I think they can go to GMHBA Stadium on Friday night and beat the Cats. So I'm tipping the Lions in that game. Saturday, there are a feast of games, and it all begins with the AFLW Grand Final for 2022. It's the Adelaide Crows taking on Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval, 12:30pm start time. These are the two best teams of the competition this season, no doubt about it. So it's good to see them both playing off in the grand final. Obviously, the Crows have got Erin Phillips, and she's going up against Daisy Pearce, who plays for Melbourne. I think it's just set up to be one of the best AFLW grand finals we've seen in its competition history. I think it's really going to be a good game. Could go either way. I'm going to tip Melbourne. I think Melbourne will win this year's AFLW Grand Final. I kind of want them to win for Daisy Pearce. I just feel like if there's any player in the comp, she's the one that deserves a premiership to her name for everything she's done for women's football and the AFLW. I just would like to see Melbourne get up for her. So I'm tipping the D's to win, but what a grand final it is going to be. At 2:40pm at the SCG on a Saturday afternoon, the Swans are taking on the Kangaroos. Obviously, the Swans are coming into this game off the back of their first loss of the season. They'll be a little disappointed that they couldn't knock off my beloved Doggies on Thursday night. They return home. They take on a pretty ordinary North Melbourne outfit who are probably no better than a bottom four team, and we definitely saw that on Saturday night when they got absolutely destroyed by the Brisbane Lions, who are just a class above the Kangaroos, it's fair to say. But the Swans should have no worries beating North Melbourne on Saturday, I would have thought. So tipping the Swans comfortably in that one. The Saturday twilight match is Collingwood taking on the West Coast Eagles, 4:35pm start time under the roof at Marvel Stadium. Collingwood could easily be 3-0 if they didn't blow that 30-plus lead they had late in the third quarter against the Cats, but it is what it is. It was their first loss of the season, and they're taking on a West Coast team who have struggled to get a win, and that's obviously due to the COVID situation and also injuries as well, combining with that. So they're really struggling at the moment, the Eagles, and it doesn't get any better for them having to go on the road and versus a really red-hot Collingwood team who are playing some really good footy under their new coach, Craig McRae. So, look, I can't see the Eagles winning this one. I think Collingwood will win this one and record their third win of season 2022. The first of two Saturday night matches, Richmond taking on the Western Bulldogs at the home of footy, the MCG, 7:25pm start time. The Tigers were quite disappointing against St Kilda last week in the end. And the Dogs, well, they were able to get their first win of the season against the Swans in a game that they could have won by more, given their inaccuracy. Both teams sit with 1 win and 2 losses. I'm sort of confident that the Dogs can go to the MCG on Saturday night and beat the Tigers. I think the Dogs are the better team out of the two, but that's easier said than done. It's going to be a tough game, and it could go either way, but obviously I'm going to tip my beloved Western Bulldogs to win this one. Go the Doggies! The other Saturday night match is Freo taking on GWS at Optus Stadium. This is also at 7:25pm. The Dockers, they destroyed the Eagles last week. How much can we take out of that win, though, in all fairness, given the Eagles and their situation at the moment? They don't have their strongest team available right now. But it was still a good win. Obviously, the Dockers have now got 2 wins and 1 loss. GWS have 1 win and 2 losses. It's at Optus, so I'm probably going to have to tip the Dockers here. I just expect them to win most games at home this season, all but a couple. And they really should be beating the Giants at home, I think. 3 games on Sunday. The first of them is at Marvel Stadium, 1:10pm start time. Essendon taking on the Crows. The Bombers, as I mentioned off the top, they sit in the bottom 3. In fact, they sit bottom of the ladder with 0 wins and 3 losses. And they're taking on the Crows, who recorded their first win of season 2022 last week with that kick after the siren from Jordan Dawson to beat Port Adelaide in the showdown. This game's at Marvel Stadium. I actually liked what I saw from the Bombers in patches against the D's last Friday night. And so because of that, and also because of the fact that it's at Marvel, I'm going to tip the Bombers to record their first win of season 2022. The mid-Sunday afternoon match is Hawthorn taking on St Kilda, 3:20pm start time at the MCG. This is going to be a cracking game. It could go either way, of course. Hawthorn, who would have thought they would be sitting fourth on the ladder right now after 3 games? They have definitely been, if not one of the most surprising team of the competition so far. And they're taking on St Kilda, who I've been really impressed with the last couple of weeks. They've really bounced back nicely after that poor loss to Collingwood in round 1. They've been able to get 2 really good wins, one away from home at Optus against the Dockers, and another one against Richmond last week in a game where they trailed for some portion of the game. Yeah, this game could go either way. I'm struggling to really come up with a tip in this one, but I think I'm going to go the Hawks. I think what I've seen from them, I've liked a little bit better than St Kilda and what I've seen from them, but yeah, could go either way this one. I'm not confident with that tip. It's going to be a good Sunday afternoon match. And the final game of the round is at 4:10pm at Metricon. It is Gold Coast taking on Carlton. Gold Coast were disappointing last week against GWS. I thought that game could go either way, but GWS just, they just led all the way pretty much, and yeah, we're just too good for the Suns, and good on them for tagging Touk Miller. I think if you do shut down Touk Miller, then you shut down the Suns, in all fairness. And obviously Carlton, we know what they're doing at the moment. They're 3-0, and they are looking the goods to make the top 8 this season. This is their first interstate game, so it'll be interesting to see if they can take that form on the road now after 3 weeks in Melbourne. I expect them to do so. So I'm tipping them to defeat the Suns in the final game on Sunday. So let's quickly recap my tips for round 4. I've tipped the D's by 25 points. I've tipped the Lions, the Swans, Collingwood, the Doggies, the Dockers, the Dons, Hawthorn, and I've tipped Carlton. So there you go. That is my round 4 AFL tips. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below your tips for round 4. I always love reading your comments and your tips, so please do put your comments down below. Press that subscribe button, would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, go the Doggies!